Hello, hello. Is anybody out there? I know I made it late. I was running around and posting links. I was also setting up the StreamYard's studio. Prior to that, I was in my garden transplanting purple heart cuttings. Hello, I see two people are currently in the stream. Thank you for dropping by. So I'm Paul Brooks. Howdy. Happy Saturday. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that you made it to the stream. Thank you so much. Um, I'm just about to plug in my earbuds. I know sometimes my doggies go off in the middle of the stream. How are you doing this Saturday? Doing well, I hope. So I'm just going to wait for a couple of more people to drop by. Hopefully we get a good turnout, and then I will get into the story time. But yeah, so I was just transplanting some purple hearts. I don't know if I'm able to share images. I'm on my mobile right now. I'm still trying to get my laptop sorted. So no, it looks like I can't. At least I'm still trying to learn how to use the mobile end of things. So I don't know if I'm able to do a screen share. It looks like we had someone else come in. Hello. How are you doing today? So let's see. I should have written down my talking points. I do have them in mind, but let me see. In the meantime, if I can just be a bug and trouble you guys with my affiliates because they do help me out. So Invader Coffee, they are an Austin-based company. And obviously the affiliates, I do get a commission. So if you do decide to make a purchase, it helps me out. They do have very unique flavors. They are, what do you call it? I don't want to say air baked, but they are very unique. They have a low acidity, so they are very good. I would like to do eventually a promotional stream for them, but I know that is neither here nor there at the time. But if anyone is interested, I do have a discount code for them, which is Retro Horrors, which I do try to keep all of my promotional codes the same. So I know since we are an older crowd, I know some of us do enjoy coffee, but yeah. So much appreciate if anyone does decide to check them out. So that is, of course, invadercoffee.com. So they are an independent business. So let me see. So that is pretty much what I did just right now, a few minutes ago, is transplanting the purple hearts. I would like to eventually plant some sweet potato plants in the center just to have some variety, and both have different types of small blooming flowers. So I think that would look very nice. Let me see. I also have, if I may trouble you once again, just really quick, I also, for you Delta 8 enthusiasts, I also have an affiliate with plainjane.com. So if you deal with maybe minor pains, aches, if you like to smoke the Mary Jane, or if you prefer gummies, I also have a promotional code with them, which is plain J10. You can also get a quick discount with them as well. So, and of course, once again, any purchase helps me out, as I do get a small commission. So once again, much appreciate. So it helps me out. But earlier this morning, and I did sleep in, I will admit, I accidentally set my alarm for Sunday when it should have been Saturday. And I quickly had to get up. I didn't have time to take a shower, unfortunately. And so I got a quick change, brushed my teeth. Of course, I had to tie my hair back, and I just tucked my hair into one of my trademark beanies. And I think I looked fairly decent. I went along with my brother to the dentist. We weren't sure if I would have to drive him back home because he had to get a tooth pulled. So we weren't too sure how he would have reacted in case he had to be sedated or how groggy he would have been. So, yeah, so that was the issue with that. But really quick before I get into my story time here, which is of course the main reason why I did want to hold this stream, I did want to ask you guys, have you ever had a bad experience with any of your neighbors, or as I like to call them, the neighbors from hell? Do you have any stories that you would like to share, or any bad experiences with any neighbors? Whether it's just the basic, just rude, inconsiderate people, or any sort of story that you feel comfortable sharing. Um, oh, and let me see. Sorry about that. I am just getting back to my comments. So I found out yesterday I have strep throat. So I'm just taking it easy today. Well, that sucks. Strep throat is never fun, especially when you have the scratchy tightening of the throat and it's painful to talk. I don't know if you like the homeopathic remedies. I know people don't like being given suggestions, but if you don't mind, I can give you one of my go-tos. If not, no worries, and I can skip that. Just because I know people don't like unsolicited advice. So I'm trying to get better about that. Um, if not, of course, vitamin C is a good standby. Or do you prefer to see a doctor? Um, or do you consider it just not bad enough to go? Or are you one of those people you just prefer to be a trooper and tough it out? But yeah, sorry to hear that. It always sucks being sick. I know I hate being sick, but I hate going to the doctor as well. I'm a penny pincher, so I hate going. So that always sucks. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that you have to be dealing with that. Um, yeah, that's never a good experience. Um, but yeah, I don't know if anybody has any bad neighbor experiences that they feel that they do want to share, or I don't know. Let me see. Ah, okay. I'll happily take the suggestion. Thank you. I always try to stay off any harsh drugs. Yeah, sure. I don't know if you really are too keen on it, but what I like to do is I'd like to take a clove of garlic, or you can skip the garlic, but I like to mash it up and let it sit for about 10 minutes, just so that the essence seeps out. And I mean, you can of course let it sit in your glass or your cup, and then I will. Um, I don't want to say a grinder, a grate. I run some fresh whole ginger through a grate, and you don't have to let that sip. That's usually very fresh and good. It's kind of spicy, but it has a cool um, sensation. So you can let that, just run it immediately. Some apple cider vinegar. Go ahead and fill your water as much as you like. Fresh lemon if you like, or just from a bottle, you can skip that and just down it. You can skip the ginger, sorry, you can skip the garlic if you're not too keen on it. Just do the fresh ginger and the opt out of the lemon if you don't like it. But definitely the ginger, that's really good for clearing the sinuses. That'll help soothe your throat. It's also good for an upset stomach, but that'll definitely help straighten you out. Um, if you prefer to just do ginger and mint, that's also really good. But those would definitely be my like home remedy recommendations for you. Obviously, they're just very easy to get a hold of from the grocer as well. But yeah, if you're willing to give it a try, I would give you those recommendations. And then hello, Cara and chat. Hey, thank you for making it by. Very awesome of you. Yeah, I always enjoy our conversations on the Twitters. Yeah, awesome for stopping by, and awesome film recommendations as well. Cool. Let me see. I'm typically a home remedy kind of person. I have a phobia of doctors and dentists. Yeah, I don't know if you heard the story of the dentist visit earlier. Yeah, I'm not too keen on doctors, especially because I hate having to sit in the office. I don't like the cold waiting rooms. I always have to take a sweater with me. Okay, and interesting. Thank you. Yeah, I like those remedies, and honestly, I try to do it daily. I wouldn't go overboard with the garlic, obviously, because you will have that stinky breath. Um, if you do it daily, it can seep from the pores, is from what I'm told. I would say do the ginger daily. If you want to do the garlic, I would say probably every other day, just because you don't want your body to smell of the garlic. Then do the garlic every other day, or if you prefer, just skip the garlic altogether. But definitely the fresh ginger. Fresh ginger is a must. I would say definitely the fresh ginger. Okay, and sounds like good advice. I used to eat ice cream or drink hot tea to soothe the pain and strep throat. Ew, I don't know. Ice cream is rough for me. Yeah, definitely hot tea. Um, some people like to go for a hot toddy. I don't know how I feel about that, but to each their own. But yeah, ginger tea I'm not too keen on, and I prefer fresh. That's always my go-to. You can do ginger tea with fresh garlic. Wow, fresh ginger. Um, yeah, ginger tea with fresh ginger or fresh mint. Obviously, the mint to help soothe as well, um, or dump a peppermint in there. Um, yeah, those are my go-tos that I would recommend. Um, yeah, or yeah, definitely those. Let's see. Neighbor story. I had a guy who lived above me in Chicago who would pace back and forth all day long from one side of the apartment to the other, all day, every day. I had to move. Um, I kind of had that habit in my old place. I was on the top floor, but I did it for exercise, and I would do that for 1 to 2 hours. So I don't know if my below neighbors hated me. But I would admit to that, but I would try to step carefully and not as loudly. I would try to be as quiet as possible, or at least because I work from home, so I would do it during my lunch hour. And so at least during the hours when I assumed no one was home. But that sucks. I don't know if you ever tried to speak to your above neighbors, or if they were just, I don't know if you're one of those people you don't like speaking to them, because I'm also one of those people. I try to avoid speaking to people directly. It's just I'm one of those people. I don't like that. Like, it makes me feel weird. approaching a person. But that sucks that you felt the need to move. That sucks. Yeah, it's never good having to approach a person. Like in my neighborhood, like the place that I grew up, I never really had that issue. Like the only complaint that I have, which is not a real complaint, is I grew up next door to a Messianic church. Like crypto Jew. Yeah, I'm timid to approach someone like that. See, I have the same issue. Some people just have that thing, and I do too, which I don't consider really a bad thing. Kind of like to avoid confrontation. I'm like that too. Um, I don't consider it a bad trait. But yeah, they were kind of like crypto Jew. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that too, where they kind of combined like modern day Christianity beliefs. So they still believed in Jesus, but they still incorporated First Testament belief. And so they would worship 3 times a day, and I believe they would stop by at like 4 in the morning. So we lived next door, and we would hear them. They would sing or they would chant, and that's really the only thing that we found um, bothersome. They weren't extremely loud, but I mean, that's religion. You can't really complain about something that, I mean, it's a ridiculous complaint. I mean, I once asked someone, because I went to school with a person that worshiped at that church, and I, very politely asked, why do you guys go to church so early? And he said, well, we believe that one should seek God early in the day. And I'm like, okay, no harm, that makes sense to me. So, I'm like, to each their own. I mean, everyone's entitled to their religious beliefs, but I was polite about it. It's just I didn't understand, and that's all I was really in that situation seeking to understand is why. But we never, formally approached anyone and filed a complaint. It's just we didn't understand. So, just having that understanding about it, it's, and it's religion. It's silly to make a complaint about that. It's just more, we live next door, and sometimes they would get a little too loud, and who really likes being woken up at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning wasn't too bad. My mom would get up and she would go to work. I wouldn't wake up until 7:30 in the morning to get ready to go to school. Well, actually 6:30, so that wasn't too far off, but they would start arriving at 4 in the morning. So I mean, we wouldn't be awoken too early. So yeah, it was just something that we weren't used to in that situation. But my first apartment wasn't too bad. There was a woman that lived across from me, and I don't know what she called it. It was some form of opera, and sometimes when she did her rehearsal, she would get a little bit too loud, and I once made a noise complaint, and she never got too loud ever again. The people below me, same thing. I'm not sure what culture they were, but they were extremely loud ones. I could feel and I was on the third floor, and I'm surprised the people on the below floor didn't complain. Um, I could feel the vibrations through the floor because they were stomping in their type of dance. I could feel the vibrations from their stomping, from their music, and it was just wow. They started at noon or sometime in the afternoon, and it went well into the evening. And same thing. It's like I want to watch TV. Sometime in the evening I want to go to bed, and those were the only 2 times I made a complaint. But it's like I said, everybody has some type of neighbor where it's kind of like, um, sometimes the noise level gets a little bit too loud. I'm sure even in my apartment, even though I have, some kind of noise canceling cardboard or foam, because my place here echoes badly because I don't have carpeting and I don't own too much furniture. So I'm aware that there's an echo here. Sometimes my voice gets a little bit too loud because I'm filming video, I'm live streaming, I'm on the phone, or sometimes I can't hear my television too loud. So I'm aware that I can get loud, or I'm up filming, or I stay up late watching TV. So I at least took that into consideration here. And, I don't know how loud it gets in here. I'm not always aware of that. So at least here, I gave that some thought, and, I put something up to help mitigate. Um, but yeah, I mean, at least living here, no one's, as far as I know, no one's made a direct complaint about me being loud or me being, annoying to any degree. But getting into the story, at some point, there was some annoyance on my part. On my part, I switched over to my charger, so hopefully everyone can still hear me while I took out my earbuds. But yeah, getting into the story time of how I got into my current situation is when I first moved in, because I didn't have my curtains set up, which is fairly sheer because I like to look outside, which I have every right to. Plus, my pets like to look outside as well. We like to enjoy our view. Um, Plus, I have, I call it a garden, but I have all of my plants out on my patio. And there was a girl the next building over. She's on the top floor, and there isn't much of separation between the buildings. It's just a pathway that separates us. And I was always hearing her that she would comment on what I was doing. And my first thought is, why do you always have to be snooping over here? I don't look over there to your area. You don't see me pasted at my window looking over there. So why do you have to do this thing? It's not like you're doing back to me what I do to you. And this was before I put up my noise canceling styrofoam or cardboard. I don't quite know what this stuff is made out of. I just know it's meant to minimize the sound. And the I did have my window open, I will admit. And like I said, at that time, I wasn't quite aware of how bad the echo in here was. And I was on the phone with my mom at the time. So, um, I was expressing my annoyance. I was venting, and I wasn't quite sure how loud I was being. But once again, I was in my right to express how I felt. It was a private conversation, and I was saying to her that this girl was just, she hadn't corrected her behavior. She was still snooping over here. And I made the comment, I'm not the television. Why is she always looking over here? And I did make the statement, is she sick in the head? By that evening, everyone, or at least her little friends around here, were gossiping and spreading lies and rumors about me. I don't know how big her little network of friends is, and several people were gossiping, which obviously I didn't care for too much. So very childish. Um, so this is a whole childish thing, and then at some point, yeah, like I said, the occult got involved. um, so eventually, this led to an 8-week old beagle pup that had been gifted to me. He just mysteriously died. Um, so a a witch friend, I won't drop any names because I find that rude. Um, but she stepped in because she agreed with me that these people had gone too far. So she helped me with this situation, and they were attacking me as well. Things were being dropped on my walkway, which were making me feel ill. Um, there were also things being smudged on my door. And so I was being attacked even before my pup, as I say, at least in my mind, that was murdered. I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah, I was too. Even though I was aware that it wasn't a normal issue, because even on my drive to a family member, um, he soiled himself, which is obviously a sign of um, something going on. I mean, obviously, when an animal is passing, they tend to do that. He was also gasping for air. I didn't realize that he was in stress. So on his leash, um, if I had been aware sooner, I would have picked him up. But he got dragged, which I wouldn't do that purposely to an animal. I really wouldn't, because I'm not cruel. And, I was upset. We took him to the emergency vet. We were there well into the middle of the night. Um, and I would have done what I could for him, because I also practice. For those of you who follow my social media, I don't keep things like that a secret. I mean, I'm proud of who I am. For those of you who follow, I mean, you know full well that I am who I am. Um, so had I had access to my own supplies, I would have done for him what I could. And so obviously, on the car ride, I did what I could. But I was just upset that I couldn't save him. And unfortunately, I had to make the decision that I didn't want to make. And I found it very traumatic. And he now sits on my altar. He has his collar there, he has his protective symbol with him, and he has dried flowers. So I still honor him. I still, I was gifted a second pup, which is his brother, because his brother needed a second home. And I don't view it as I replaced his passing with his brother. His brother just needed a home. Several pets, or I'm sorry, several siblings from that same litter just needed homes. My brother, who was the breeder, was struggling to home the siblings. He was struggling. I know I'm getting off topic. He was struggling, especially in this economy, to obviously to sell the pups, which is just um, a part-time thing that he does. He's not a professional breeder, so he gave away the pups. That's how much he cares about them. Is he gave them away because he would rather give them to good homes. And so I took in a second pup, and like I said, I didn't view it um, as me replacing him, because I'm not that kind of a person. I'm not gross like that. Um, so I give him the love that I wasn't able to give to his first brother, and I accidentally from time to time call him by his brother's name, because I still mourn him. But that leads me into the second issue, is these neighbors. and there are several of them, but they placed something on me to where I know some of you. How long ago did this happen? It began in November. It happened gradually. So the first pup, I lost him December 27th. I remember this. November 22nd, I'm sorry. So I lost him during holiday. Um, yes, so I do remember the date, and I keep his vet receipts on my refrigerator because I refuse to forget. I don't view it as me hanging on to that pain and that loss, but I view it as a way of honoring him. Like, I will remember you, um, is the way I see it. It's also the same reason why I keep his ashes on my altar. Um, and every single day when I do my daily smudge and my daily blessing, he also don't scratch on the cardboard right now. That's my cat. Phew, not right now. But I also view him as he also receives that blessing. So that's another reason why he stays on my altar is I continue to honor him. It's just that's the way I see it, and that's the way it is. Come on. That's my cat. She wants to play with the cardboard that I set up for her. And that's my pup's brother. His name is Herschel. Um, I think some of you have seen him on my on my social media as well. But yeah, I lost my first pup December 22nd. I don't recall when his brother moved in with us, but he also had something placed on him several times. But yes, they did go after him as well. His brother, I was actually able to help. He did. I did put something on him to protect him, and unfortunately, I keep him in the apartment, so I refuse to let him out, which is unfortunate. He doesn't get to go on daily walks, so I'm very protective of him. He does get to go out on the patio, which is protected, and I go out there with him, so I make sure he's okay. But yeah, he moved in sometime in December, and he was first attacked in January. I've also been attacked several times. Obviously, the stuff that was placed in the hallway, the stuff that was in the door, that's affected me. I was attacked several times after that, which I was able to shake off or remove. And the current issue is there is some sort of link between me and these nasty people. So I'm not sure how to describe it, but I can hear them and I don't want to. Like, I just want them to shut up and leave me alone. And I haven't been able to remove or take that off. Like, I hear them at all hours of the day. I don't know how to describe it. And even though I don't want to, they're able to subconsciously manipulate me. I've had a healer come into the home. She's also a medium. She did a blessing on the home. She did a blessing on me. And they, once again, some nasty little girl placed something on me, the one who started all of this trouble to begin with, even though she refuses to acknowledge that she's the one that started all of this. And all of this mess continues to this day. I've worked with a shaman. He's also been unable to remove this mess. But he's also shown me techniques that have helped me, but I still continue to seek help with this. So that's where we are currently at. Um, but yeah, that's my story so far. Um, but yeah, this has caused me anxiety. I've currently managed to find a point in stability, but yeah, they're still trying to put me back into a period of some form of stress. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm currently trying to seek a fellow occultist to try and help me, because it doesn't matter what I do. I've been trying to help myself, and I just haven't been able to. It's just I have several people that are working together against me, and I just haven't been able to figure out what this thing is that they're using. And yeah, it's just that's where I am currently. I mean, I don't know if you guys consider this as a thing that's believable, unbelievable. It's just this is a thing that I want to talk about, which is why today's stream is called Supernatural BS. Um, you know, story time. It's just a thing I don't want to keep secret, but this is where I'm at. Um, I'm also trying to get in contact with um, occult and supernatural podcasts, because I'm hoping to see if I can get in contact with, or that they can help me get in contact with someone that may be able to assist. Um, I don't know if maybe you guys might know of someone. Please feel free to forward information. I would definitely love to reach out to someone um, as well. I mean, I would just love to seek out help in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I'm not making this stuff up. I'm really not. Um, if you're hearing that background noise, that's my pets. They're trying to play right now. Let me see. Chaz Mena. Hi, first time here. Hi, thanks for stopping by. I don't know how much of the story that you've heard or how crazy or wild it sounds. But yeah, that's some of the stuff that I've been dealing with. But yeah, that's my beagle. He's the brother of my first puppy. Whoops. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have any opinions that you would like to share. Please feel free to be open. Even if you want to express disbelief, I'm open to any thoughts or opinions. I mean, I'm very much aware of how uncredible, uncreditable this sounds. I know it sounds very out there. I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your first name. But hello, thank you for stopping by, and thank you for taking interest in this stream. I'm not too sure how much of my story you may have heard, but thank you for stopping by. But yeah, once again, I'm not too sure how crazy or wild all of this may have sounded. But yeah, if anyone has any questions or commentaries, the floor is open. Did you bless the house with sage? That's what they say to do, right? Yes, I do that. Well, I do that every day, at least once a day with incense. I do have a similar practice that I do every Friday with a white candle, a stick of incense, and a 7-day candle. That's what I post from time to time as well. Um, I do use sage to smudge myself. I was advised um, by a sister witch slash my best friend to sage the house from back to front, leading up to the front door. Obviously, with emphasis on the doorways. And I recently started using copal. Um, and that advice was given to me by a light worker. But yes, I do sage the place, as well as other methods that were recommended to me once a month. I've recently slid from that because I believe, um, well, actually, I shouldn't share that, but yeah, I've recently backslided, but I do need to get back into that. But I'm generally very good about saging and smudging the house. But yes, I also had a professional come in and help me with the place as well, because I did um, seek counsel with that from an elder as well. And the recommendation was, even though I take care of the place myself, that I should have a professional come in and do the smudging as well. What does your sister witch think of what happened? She's not too sure herself. I mean, this is just a very odd situation. I mean, I know witches live everywhere, so who knows what the person or persons working in conjunction with the mundanes living here may have advised, or what various works they may have been using. I'm also very sure that they potentially are listening in. So my speculation is that they are shortchanging me at every turn possible, which makes it, um, difficult for me to do my own works. But who knows? I try to ignore those speculations because I potentially could be um, hurting myself as well. So which has been advised to me as well, is just ignore that and, just do how I do. So I ignore and, I just do my daily works and blessings. I also, even just with sticks of incense and sage, I go over my pets as well and, do a little blessing for them also. I keep witch bells inside of the house. I give them a little ring from time to time. I have been meaning to hang some outside on the patio because, that always gives a purification every time they're rung. I have some regular chimes that go off every time the wind blows, so that's always a good thing as well. Um, but yeah, she isn't too sure what happened, but she's also given me some purification advice. It's been a while since I've used an egg cleansing, but yeah, it's always near cooked every single time I do one. It shows webs. Um, if you hear that bell right now, that's just my security camera that went off. So I didn't have some installed as well, just so I can see what goes on. Um, but yeah, I've even observed nasty people walk by and kick my doormat, which is absolutely unnecessary. People have also just walked by and yelled, certain words, as well as refer to me as MF, um, which is absolutely unnecessary. So it's just people just openly being nasty to me as well. Um, but yeah, getting back to the egg cleansings, they do show webs, which confirms it's a network of people working against me, which is very clearly noted and felt. I do sense things. I do have, um, certain gifts that I was born with. I'm natural born. Um, it does run in the family, so I'm not mundane. Even though I do have certain training as well. Um, and by mundane, I do mean, not someone who um, chooses to be common and not, no disrespect intended, or if you um, read Harry Potter, pop culture reference. I'm not a muggle, even though I dislike that word because it's not, in the community, that's not an actual word. The word is mundane. Um, but yeah, I'm, as I say, natural born. But yeah, I've also, researched, study, which has hindered me. All of this stuff, I haven't been able to. I feel that I haven't been able to keep up with my studies, whether it's esoterics, hermetics. Sorry, I misspoke. But I do plan on getting back into that, regardless of what's going on around me. Currently I want to get back into studying the aura, as well as getting back into my stonework, because that is actually what I prefer. Is I consider myself a green witch. I prefer to work with earth magic, hence all of my plants. But regardless, I don't consider myself inferior. Um, I've had people that refer to me as an armchair magician, which is BS because I do practice. I'm a quick study, so even though I'm, kind of self-justifying right now, I actually don't feel the need to do so. It's just the fact that I'm being attacked right now, and I feel the need to protect my surroundings and my family, and I'm also, you know, I practice, American shamanism, which is obviously different from the traditional. And, I do have a teacher. So I actually do have practice. I'm in training. May someone put your address somewhere online with false information about your persona so these strangers might even know you and do bad things under false info? To my knowledge, other than my social media and my, professional email, to my knowledge, no one other than, the nasty people on property, to my understanding, no one has my personal information. But quite honestly, I'm really not knowledgeable in that. So truth be told, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, I really don't know the the links that these ugly people would go to. I mean, they went as far as forcing me to fall back in love with my abusive, narcissistic ex, and forcing me to seek him out, um, as well as forcing me to lust after this abusive person. So really, I mean, who knows how far these people would go. So yeah, I mean, as far as I know, I mean, I really don't know what lengths they would force me to go in order to make me move off of the property. As previously stated, they murdered my first puppy, and they've tried going after well, his brother, which, I don't refer to my pets as pets. I mean, obviously, I know they, you know, wish you well. Thank you. I can use all of the well wishes and blessings that I can get. So I truly appreciate that. Thank you. Um, but yeah, I mean, even though technically my pets are pets, and anyone would refer to them as animals, I don't consider them pets. They are my family. To me, they are equals. Um, I would go as far as referring to them as, you know, little people in furry suits. But that's the way I view them. Is they are, um, you know, um, damn it, the word fails me at the moment, but sentient. They are sentient beings. They have souls. They have auras. People who have that natural gift, people who have been trained, if every living thing has an aura, including plants. So, you know, and these family members do have emotions. They, even if limited, they have memories. You can see these emotions on their little faces, even when they're upset. If they can shed tears, they have emotions. They have joy. I wouldn't, be a brute and view them as, oh, well, that's just an animal. I can do away with it. You know, they have love and care, and one has to remember, well, um, we as humans are literally all they have. We are, um, even as their family members, we are, um, who they know, all they have. We are their protectors. We are their guardians. It is our duty to look after them, which I take that role seriously. So, um, and one might say that I'm being melodramatic, but I don't view it that way. I mean, that frame of thought I took on when I was, very young, and I take that as very natural. Some of my, quote unquote pets do have pet names. Some of them do have human names. Which I don't see as a bad thing. It's just that's just based off of their persona and how they carry themselves. I pretty much let them name themselves. But yeah, I mean, if any of you have any further suggestions or anything else I can try, I mean, my sister witch has definitely passed along um, numerous blessings, and I wouldn't say spells, but definitely wordings that I can try whenever I do smudgings, um, or saging, as an alternate wording, as other people say. Um, yeah, definitely, I do charge my crystals. I do program them. I put them out for solar charging. I do need to remember to moon charge some of the light ones, light light ones, or lunar ones. And yes, I do sleep with my protective ones under my pillow, so I do use that as well. Some I do carry in sachets in my pockets. My I do have a worry stone one, which is a chakra crystal, which I recently accidentally broke. It fell off my desk, so I need to find some form of adhesive to repair that. I'm not sure if just regular super glue would do the job. It's all I have right now. I was suggested to use Gorilla Glue. I don't have any. But yeah, quite, and I take it funny, like, I don't know if any of you guys would find it suggestible, but I do want to see it as taking the bright side, but I do like the idea of just um, also just kind of forming the ideology of this into, um, you know, putting something based off of this on my shop, kind of like creating, and some of this would say, well, you're taking the wrong approach, or rolling your eyes and saying, well, don't do that, or just saying, well, no, you're just being superficial. But I kind of like the idea of creating something in my shop as a t-shirt line and making like a neighbors from hell thing. I don't know if anybody would be interested, or just say, just drop the idea, you're being silly. um, but yeah, I like the idea of creating like a neighbors from hell um, t-shirt, kind of something, just very chibi or kawaii, and just basing several t-shirts based off of this, some form of catharsis, making light of this, and just making, some sort of caricature, several demons, um, representative of the situation, but just making light of it, kind of, kind of like, I clean my hands of you, but you have no power over me type thing. I think that would be a way of, kind of cleansing myself of it as well. Um, like I say, just making light of it, and, kind of like in a way of, what would you say? I can't think of the word, but, a different form of magic, like anyone who chooses to support that ideology. It's kind of like you're also, in a form, helping me, because you're carrying that ideology, whether or not you choose to believe in that. Sympathetic magic is kind of what I'm saying. In a sense, you're also helping me in that, because even though it's something you may not believe in, you're kind of um, carrying that along with you. But I don't know. Um, it's just a thought. But yeah, I would definitely like to get some sketches of that. But yeah, it's just a thought that I'm shooting out there. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this stream. Um, whether you have any thoughts of anyone else that's in the witch or occult community that I may or should reach out to, whether it's, a medium or fellow occultist. Now I'm struggling with my words, or it's a podcast that may be able to assist. I definitely would like to, take any suggestions or advice. If not, then this may be a good stopping point for this stream. And I would like to thank you guys for your time, and I appreciate you for stopping by and listening to my story. Um, but yeah, unless anybody has any other. Ah, okay, sorry, I don't know anyone. The idea I have is that usually we give others power. Yeah, and that's what I'm being told by others is, especially my mom, is, just stop thinking about it, just do how you do. Especially my sister, which she has said the same thing. Especially the medium that came into the home and did the blessing is, just work on protecting yourself, call on your guides, your guardian angels, continue doing your protective work, work on your lessons and teachings, and, stop giving them any thought or consideration. Just focus on what you've been taught. Um, and even if you um, hear these manifestations, just as we say in my native culture, throw them to the lions. But yeah, it's true. Take back your power. They have no right to take. Herschel, stop that. They have no right to take any of your energy. That is your right. That is what you are naturally born with. And so yeah, I mean, I've been given that advice several times, and that's what I'm working on. I will admit I've had slip ups from time to time, and I agree with you. I need to work on taking my power back. It's true. I have set up, what do you call it, a mesh around the home. I surround myself with one. I check in on my aura from time to time whenever I'm feeling stressed. So I do need to keep up with those practices. I have to remind myself that the mesh is in the home. I don't have to put that up because it's already been set in place. But I do call upon it when I feel that I need it. And the shaman is who taught me about that. I would like to be taught how to set up a grid. Anything that has been placed on me, I have been taught how to remove that, as well as expelling. So I have been taught that as well. So yeah, I've been given several methods on how to protect myself. And of course, my body and my energy space. There's no such thing as any trickster lying and saying that I have been blocked, because that is, more crudely stated, bullshit. That is the trickster lying and trying to steal my power. I may be wrong. In my case, I notice I give others power. Our energy leaks and we don't notice. We let it out. No, that is very much true. We do, but that's the same thing as putting up our shields, protecting our aura. Um, yeah, and those are the things that I've been taught. Whether it's, as I say, seeking advice and counsel with the elders, um, you know, and just things that I've been reminded and taught. So, and those are the things that I have been taught from my teacher, the shaman. And I first participated in his meditative circle going on journey work. So I need to get back into that quite honestly. And that does strengthen the aura and the energy space. So if it's not something that you would do normally, I would advise on that. And that's also why I want to study the chakras, because it does, I feel it's more helpful because you learn how to you learn what each chakra does individually. So I feel that it helps with working with each one. So if one is blocked or if you can't see one, you know what exactly to do in order to strengthen it. And but yeah, I learned that through journey work, meditation, and then um, since my teacher in that, because I was part of a meditative circle, um, I seeked him out directly um, for sessions, and then he began teaching me individually. So that is who I have been working with directly. He also has a website. I've been ever since COVID. I've been participating in the journey circles online. And I've been working with him in personal one-on-one sessions. So he's been working with me directly ever since. Well, ever since I felt that I needed help on a one-on-one basis. So yeah, I haven't been sitting on my hands, more politely stated. But yeah, I've been seeking help, and it has been assisting me. So yeah, I've been moving on this. Has the noise canceling foam and boards helped your situation there? Mm, Only with real world noise. As far as the actual sound, um, as wacky as it sounds, that's more of like an um, what would you say, a different level connection that's more, I don't want to say psychically connected, but it's more of like a different level connection, like like when someone taps into a different level through meditation, like it's not something someone can tap into without a different type of study, or I can't really plainly explain it because it's even something that I struggle with. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely some kind of work that someone did in order to connect all of these mundanes. Um, it's definitely a type of work because I can hear all of these buffoons speaking to me inside of my head. Sometimes I hear a ringing in my ears. Sometimes they pester me in my sleep, so I can hear myself when I'm half awake or half sleeping. I can hear myself speaking gibberish, or I'm being forced to talk when I don't want to. It's weird. Um, Somehow we got to give permission to others to take ours. I believe this is just how my personal idea um, that no one can take ours. I will agree. Like sometimes I accidentally start speaking like to them whenever I have those slip ups. And then I start speaking against my will in having these conversations. So that is why I work not to speak to them, because then I slip into having unwanted conversations, which is why I'm being advised by numerous people, just ignore it. Don't interact. And these things take advantage of it. And by things I refer to them as beasts, because I don't view it as human, even though I do know that they started off as human. But yeah, it's like a little game to them, where it's like, oh, you slipped over, we got you now. But yeah, it's a thing I have to work at. It's like they purposely um, annoy me, or they poke at me. It's definitely on purpose. So I will agree. Like it kind of is like a subconscious permission. So I will agree with you on that one. You said in the last stream that you travel very light, so that um, I could see how the echo could be an issue. Yeah, that's how I was initially heard when I was making the complaints. And then this, immature little girl took it to heart when it's something that she should have brushed off. And then she got her little goofy friends to join in on it when, it's something that her little friends could have said, it's not even worth it, let it go. But, all of these stupid little people got in on it when it could have just been a thing of, she's an older, cranky person, just leave it alone. They could have just taken that approach. I mean, they're just a bunch of little kids in their 20s. I mean, obviously an older person. Um, and as I stated, I was previously in an abusive relationship on numerous levels. I'm not going to get into detail on that. I've obviously hinted on that before. Um, so I've gotten out of this traumatic issue, and I obviously want to be left the F alone. And I'm dealing with this idiot who's snooping through my window. And, um, put the puzzle pieces together. One can see how I just don't want to be bothered. And, you have this little kid who took something to heart. And, then she gets her little friends to join in. And then, someone decides to start playing with a little recipe book. And now I'm in this situation. So, it's all ridiculous and petty. That's pretty much how all of this started. And then just things escalated when they decided to kill a little baby puppy, which is why I got someone else involved to help me. They obviously, the sister witch clearly agreed with me that, these monsters went too far. And now it's gotten to this point to where they're just trying to force me out of here, and you have some sort of subconscious mind control going on. So that's where we're at, and that's why I started leveling up on my studies, and I got really serious on self-defense and protecting myself and my family. To be serious, to be honest, sorry to know about this. Hopefully, I wish the intensity will lower down. So do I, but the thing is, they are just very stubborn and intent on forcing me out of here. And it's just very clear that they're not going to let up. I'm pestered in my sleep. I'm pestered when I'm awake. So, yeah, it's just a thing that I constantly have to work on, is just ignoring this thing. It kind of feels like, if you've ever seen A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe, I don't see things, but it feels to that degree to where it's just a thing that I have to work at. So, yeah, that's all it really is I'm just at that point. I know it sounds once again that I'm being melodramatic, but it just feels like that. And that's just where it is. So I just keep up with, my gratitude, my daily blessings, and even the medium agreed with me. It's like, no, you're doing the right thing. So I just keep at it. And, even if I, have, just a couple of days from time to time where I just feel busy or I forget, long as I get back to it, that's all that really matters. So, or even if I just walk past my little witch bells and I remember to give them a ring from time to time, that's good enough. But I do need to remember to finish stringing my wreaths and bells together. I have 3 more that I would like to put outside. So I need to put my budding gear and finish stringing those together. I bought some that were pre-made, so all I really need to do is just tie them off and get on my step ladder and set them up. So really, it's just me procrastinating. So, and if it's just me asking to be blessed every time they ring, it's like, why not? It's just get your butt in gear. It's the quickest and easiest blessing there is to ask for. And if I've already got chimes in place, then, I've already got something working for me. And I've already got protective plants out there. and they've already been programmed. So they're already doing what they need to do. So, I mean, the patio's already protected. My front and back doors are already protected. The inside of the house is already protected. Myself and my pets are already protected. So, I mean, what needs to be done has already been done. So, yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I just need to work at no longer giving power to these animals that just won't leave me alone. And just keeping up with my studies, and that's all really there is to it, is just remembering they can't take my power from me, and remembering they can't steal from me that what I have been taught, and they just can't. That's BS. I was going to say earlier that I like the sound of the wind chimes in the background. I honestly didn't know they could be heard. I have the back door closed. Awesome, thank you. So if the back door can be heard, that's probably likely that my voice can still be heard, but you know what? Sod it. I have every right to talk. So that just probably means I need to put up some more noise canceling stuff. But I don't know if you can hear my water filter as well. I have my little fishy in this same room. But thank you for saying. I love my wind chimes. I've had them for years. To be honest, I am impressed you opened up to this live. Opened up in this live. Best wishes. I've honestly been wanting to do this stream for a while. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind being open, and it's just something I need to get off my chest. So if it means helping myself feeling better, then why not? Especially if it just means, just if it helps me let go and remember to just, not let these beasts get the best of me, then why not? But yes, I do. Best wishes. Yeah, I appreciate that. Once again, I can use all the blessings I can get a hold of. It means the world to me. Me and my family appreciate it. We really do. Yeah. We really do. Um, but yeah, I mean, um, we keep up the work, and, we do our daily thing. Um, and by we, I mean they do how they do, and I do what I feel needs to be done. And, we take care of what we need to do. Um, I have those gray days, but, my guys keep me going. I have to take care of them. So, and, my pets are my ESAs. They're my reason for getting up, and, I have to take care of them. So I take care of them. I take care of myself. So holding down the fort. And, yeah, I mean, I have no shame in admitting that. I'm not one of those people that I'm silly enough to victim blame, because I'm not a victim. I didn't do this to myself. That's ridiculous. I did nothing wrong. I have every right to vent and complain, and if some stupid little girl wants to go off and, go out of her way to recruit people to, you know, try and embarrass me for, complaining about her not being able to mind her own business and then go this far, then, shame on her, and, karma will catch up to her. And, karma takes her time sometimes, but I trust. And, karma, karma definitely deals what has coming to everyone. So I've seen karma at work. She can definitely be nasty. So even if I don't see those cards that have been dealt, which I don't need to, I don't care. I know she has coming to her what she deserves, and that's good enough. All of these people have coming to them what they deserve, and I don't wish anyone ill. Karma takes care of that. I don't, I take care of mine, and I know that they all have coming to them what they deserve. And the fact that my abusive ex got dragged into this, and that his emotions were manipulated as well, that's a double whammy that they have coming. The fact that they murdered an innocent animal and then made fun of his death, they just keep stacking those cards, don't they? So I trust. I trust. I'll keep reading my cards daily. I'll keep doing my daily blessings. And you know what? I don't have to wait and see. I don't have to be petty. They've been petty already. So I will continue to seek help in any way, shape, or form that I can. Or, hopefully anyone watching this that's willing to lend a hand, I will definitely extend and see what help is willing to come my way. But yeah, once again, I appreciate everyone who was willing to spend time with me this Saturday and listen to my story and this story time. Yeah, I mean, I know it's an out there story, but then again, anyone who's ever been involved in the occult, I mean, all kinds of wild things happen. But that's the life we live. I mean, not everything is unicorns and rainbows. I mean, obviously, I was born gifted. I choose to practice. Not everyone who's gifted chooses to live this life because it can be complicated and messy. Let me see. That sounds completely evil, what they did. Life is going to be rough for them who, as you mentioned, karma, and as well as just having to clear your conscience once you get to the age of reflection. Yeah, I mean, they're young right now, but if one day they realize what they did, maybe one day it'll hit, maybe one day it won't. I mean, it all comes to maturity. Who knows? I mean, some people might realize it. Maybe one day they won't. I mean, maybe this will become a story of realization and regret. Maybe this will become a story they tell and it's like, ha ha, I got the best of her. Who knows? That depends on the individual. But yeah, I mean, I'd say this is a good place to to stop and end the stream. I do appreciate you guys lending me your time and just letting me get this off my chest. And yeah, I mean, I do appreciate this. And thank you very much to everyone who stopped by and commented. And yeah, very fair to the point. Welcome. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, and thank you to everyone. Absolutely. Take care. Yeah, but yeah, hopefully next week, well, actually not hopefully, but next week's stream will be a lot lighter, more cheerful, happier. I do have a vlog that I would like to get out soon. I know I keep saying that. I need to get my laptop sorted so I can get it edited and going soon. It's an unboxing. I have two that I'd like to get edited. So definitely some fun stuff. I have some crystals and a blind bag unboxing for Black Craft Occult. So we have some fun stuff coming. It's not always going to be heavy like this. Good stream, Cara. Thank you for sharing your story. Absolutely. And once again, thank you to everyone for sharing their time. I know Saturdays are supposed to be, for fun and relaxation. But yeah, we'll go ahead and stop here. We will talk to you guys later. And I will see you when I see you. All right. Goodbye, guys.